Now, this is a match the following question. As I told you, that you have to remember the names of the contributors and what is the theory, or whatever is the concept which is given by them, right? So, here is the question in front of you, and we have done this in our very first class, wherein we discussed about the different contributors and the theory which each one of them gave, right? So, what do you all think would be the correct answer? Take your time, think about it, and then tell me. Use elimination method, okay?
Option A, ma'am.
Okay, so it'll be option A. What about others? Prativa, Saranya, Sakshi, and who else is joined? Sudrita. Yeah, what do you all think? Is option A the correct choice? Okay, let's do it together. Taylor, he gave which theory? We have discussed this twice, right? Taylor, he's the father of which?
Scientific management.
Right, scientific management, right? So I'll be writing option number A over here. The moment I write option number A matching with option number 2, I can eliminate option B. I can eliminate option number B. Now, Fayol, again, the most famous person. Remember in the PDF, it's mentioned the theory which he gave? Fayol? Anyone? Any idea? So your answer would be either option A or the answer would be option C. So what do you think? Fayol gave which theory? Okay. Let's leave Fayol. Let's talk about your Weber. Weber gave which theory? There is a question from this theory on the WhatsApp group also, which we have done. Anyone? Weber gave us which theory? Okay, so see, Weber, he gave us the bureaucratic management theory. So hence, C is going to match with option number 4. So yes, clearly option number A is the correct choice. Peter Drucker. Always remember, Drucker is the one who gave us MBO, okay, management by objectives. Then you have your Elton Mayo. Just remember, M for Mayo, M for movement. Human relations movement was given by Elton Mayo. So again, see, the names of these contributors and the theory is given by each one of them is extremely important. And I know there are like too many names, right? In the previous two classes you have just come to know about few of them, but trust me, there are more management thinkers and contributors whose name you have to memorize. So make sure that you are learning all of their name. Okay, now let's come to another question. Same question, okay, match the following. Now see, few people name are common, right? So now I want every one of you to think and again use elimination method and then tell me what is the correct choice. You can, simply match Fayol and Taylor. B and C options. Just C. Okay, so they have given this to trick you. Basically, B and C option matching is not going to help, but think about that who gave you theory X and theory Y. Very, very simple. We have discussed this many times, right? Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So yeah, just tell me who gave. Henry Fayol gave which theory that will land you to the answer. Why are everyone silent today?
Ma'am, option C.
Okay, option C. Okay, let me see. Fayol, Taylor. Okay, Taylor is always scientific. Okay, but why option C? See, Taylor gave us which theory? Scientific management theory, right? So C should match with option 2. Yes or no?
Yeah, ma'am. I just messed it up. Sorry.
No problem, no problem. So now, okay, so very good. Now we know Taylor is matching with option 2, C matching with option 2. Now when I look over here, I can eliminate option number C, right? So C option done. Now, what about Fayol? See, the previous question also we did, right? Fayol gave which theory? Anyone else now I want to answer?
Administrative management, ma'am.
Yes, Lavanya, very good. Administrative management. So B option should match with option number one, right? So again, so you read the options carefully. So B matching with option one. Now I will again eliminate option B. So the answer is either option A or option D, right? Now Mary Parker, if you remember, we discussed that she is known as the mother of modern management, right? And her theory name was also mentioned in the study notes. Okay, but we haven't discussed her theory much in detail because it's not really a part of a syllabus. But still, theory X and theory Y we have talked in detail, right? So can you tell me who is the pioneer of theory X and theory Y, because that will help you to arrive at the correct choice. Who found
Douglas MacGregor.
Yes, very good. McGregor. Even again, see, here we talked about Weber as well, right? Weber is the one who gave you bureaucratic management. So, yes, very good. McGregory is the one who gave us theory X and theory Y. So, simple D is going to match with option 4. Max Weber. So, sometimes, when you do these match the followings, the option corresponding to the column 1, sometimes even that is the answer, which means, as we can see, Max Weber, it is just written beside bureaucratic management. So yes, even that is possible when you get such questions. So yes, option number A is the correct choice. So make sure all of you practice the contributors, the theories. Why? Because we do have such questions, okay, in your UGC NET examination, and yes, such questions they do come. Okay, so today we are going to start with the other theories also, but let me just expand on the systems theory. Systems theory, as we discussed yesterday, I told you it was given by Ludwig. Again, remember his name. And the basic idea is that an organization is basically a system which is made up of many interconnected parts, which are known as your subsystems, right? And all the parts, they are working together. If there is any change in any sub part, okay, then it can affect the whole system. And we discussed the example of a hospital. Let's say hospital is a system in which you have subsystems like doctors, nurses, dietitians, and so on. If there is any fault, if there is any malfunctioning with the dietary department, it can affect all the other subsystems as well. And also we talked about synergy word. I told you synergy word, the word itself means together, and synergy means that whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which means when you're working together as a team, the amount of productivity or the work which you do, which you deliver, is more than when that particular work is done by an individual. So that is the meaning of synergy. Now, another important thing which all of you should know is that what are the components of the systems theory. See, again, these things are not mentioned in our books, but because nowadays questions are coming from those theories which were not there in your PYQ, so we have to prepare some extra portion as well. Okay, so just remember IPOF: input, process, output, and feedback. These are the components of your system theory, and they are very, very easy to understand. See, input means what? Input refers to the resources which are entering the system. For example, money. Money is a resource which is entering the system. Staff, employees, materials, all of these are the resources entering the system. Process refers to that what is being done in the system, what are the activities which are being done in the system. It could be any sort of management style, okay, or it could be any kind of work which is being done. Let's say again, packaging of food materials, or let's say the food which is being made for the patients in a hospital. So basically, process refers to all the activities which are being done in the system. Output means what is the result. Okay, for example, if you think about a food product company, what is the result? The products which they are selling, right? The products which they have made, their services, or again, in the case of a hospital, what is the output, whether the patients they are being recovered. Feedback refers to, again, the same thing, that whatever is the information which you have compiled, which you have gathered from your clients, from your consumers, to improve your system. In simple terms, feedback means the performance review. For example, let's say if the patient's going to a particular hospital, okay, their feedback is very good about the entire hospital system, and they know that, if I visit this hospital, or let's say if I visit this clinic, I will be completely fine. And they start reviewing, let's say, the hospital on Google Maps, or even by word of mouth, they start giving feedback. So this is known as your feedback, whatever is the information you can use to improve. Let's say there is anything which is not going well in a management, in a system, then also you can always improvise it, you can always work on it, right? So that is known as the feedback. So this is again a part of your systems theory, so just keep this extra information in mind. Okay, just give me a moment. Right. So now, if you look over your modern management theories, right? Systems theory we have done, contingency theory. Okay, how many of you know the meaning of the word if I say that, I have a contingency fund with me? What do you understand by this word? Contingency fund. Any idea?
Ma'am, the fund in contingency can be used for any emergency purposes.
Yes, very good, Lavanya. Any emergency purpose fund. So now, when you talk about your contingency theory, which was given by Fiedler, right? So no need to remember the full name. Also, just remember the surname, okay, of all these pioneers. Fiedler was the one who gave us the contingency theory. Now, what Fiedler he believed was that the best management style is something which depends on the situation. Means, depending on the situation, you can choose or you can alter your management style. If there is any emergency situation, how are you managing that emergency situation is what is known as a contingency theory. So the theory says that, this theory is again something very good. It says that there is no single best way to manage things, okay? There is no single best way. As for example, in the other theory, someone said that everything should be scientific. Someone said that we have to maintain cooperation, good human relations. So this contingency theory said that there is no single best way to manage. Whatever is the management style you're going to use, it depends on the situation. So Fred's statement is that it depends means it depends upon the situation. Different situations, they require different management styles. So now, for example, let's say there's a situation of, okay, I'll give you a very practical, something which is going on nowadays. All of you must be aware, because of the war situation, the LPG cylinders. Okay, there's a shortage of the LPG cylinders, because of which, let's say, if someone is running a hostel mess, okay, those of you living in hostel can relate to it. If there's so even in a hospital mess, there is a management, right? You have, let's say, a hostel mess manager or anything like that. And in this emergency situation wherein the supply of the LPG cylinders is shortened, now they but food has to be given to the students, right? Food has to be provided. So now, how do those mess managers, or how does the hostel authority react? How do they manage things in such a crisis situation? That is known as the best. That will be the best management style. So that is what is the idea behind contingency theory, that different situations, they require different management style. And a good manager is someone who can adjust, who can act quickly, who can think smartly, and who can basically adjust according to the environment, according to any crisis situation, let's say according to the organization size, technology, any new technology, let's say it comes like AI. Nowadays, AI is ruling. Now, the manager has to know that if AI has come into our field of work, how do we adapt to it? How do we deal with it? Right. So basically, managers, they must adjust according to all of these situations. And yes, for example, if in a hospital there is an emergency hospital case which comes in, so managers, they must act quickly, they must give strict instructions to the hospital authorities. How do you handle, how do you manage an emergency case, right? And similarly, because again, we are talking about family management as well, side by side. So think about your parents. So what do you think? Even at our homes, it's a very deep and interesting thing that even at our home, family management is taking place on a day-to-day basis. Now, for example, uh, let's say if we are doing something wrong. Okay, if let's say if the child is not studying, the child is spending too much time on screen. Okay, the parents, they will be strict. Why? Because they know that my child is in a very complex situation. He is not able to focus on his studies. He's just spending time on online, again on all of the social media websites, etc., watching TV. So they will be strict because the situation demands them to be strict, right? But let's say at the same time, when the child is at his or her very low phase, they need emotional support, or let's say they are dealing with any emotional issue. Let's say they have paper anxiety, exam anxiety. In that situation, your parents, they will be supportive, they have to be flexible. That time they are not strict. So that is what is the idea, that the management styles, they are based on situations, they are based on circumstances, right? If there is any crisis situation, or if there is any other situation, the management style has to be adapted accordingly. Is this clear to everyone? Contingency theory. It's a very, easy theory to understand. Is it clear? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Right. So now let's come to a most important theory which we have, is known as your MBO, management by objectives, given by Peter Drucker. So please remember this person's name, very very important. We do have a direct PYQ, and you just saw even in the match the following questions, they can ask you Peter Drucker and which theory he gave. It is MBO. Sometimes in your paper they will just write MBO. Okay, so you have to be like smart enough to guess that it is management by objectives, which was given by Peter Drucker. Now this is again a very interesting and a easy one. See, the basic idea, the basic principle of MBO is that managers and employees, okay, they set goals together. Now, setting goals together, so I think in the previous theories also, there is one thing which we have discussed, that there should be a teamwork. Okay, and also we have discussed that even the employees should be involved in decision making process, they should be involved in goal setting. So here, as you can guess, management by objectives means whatever are the goals of the organization, those goals have to be set together by the managers and the employees. Manager plus employees are setting goals together, and then the performance is evaluated based on achieving those goals. And usually, in many IT companies, even in your nutrition startup, this is something which is there, that you will be having a team leader or a manager. Okay, and they will be telling you that these are the goals for the month of, let's say, March. Okay, and they will also be seeing that how have you performed, and based on that they will be giving you a rating, or they will be evaluating your performance, right? That is the first principle, the first basic idea of MBO. Now, second thing is very, very important. We have PYQs on this. MBO focuses on clear and measurable objectives. So, your objective, whatever is the goal, okay, it should be such that you are able to measure it. Now, just think of it. For example, if a nutrition startup wants you to get around 40% sales, right? So now here, what I'm saying, 40% sales. So here, when you listen to this word 40% sales, it makes you understand that yes, the goal is very much clear, the goal is very much measurable. I am being specific that I want 40% sales from this particular product which our company is selling. So whatever is your objectives, or whatever is the goal of the organization, that should be clear, that should be measurable. Because if you're not able to measure it, how will you evaluate, how will you know that how far have we reached, right? So when you look at the annual turnover sheets of the companies, or the progress reports of a company, right, then you will see, they do this in an excel sheet, then you will see that how nicely the goals are written, and also on one column it's written in the percentage format or some other format, that what is the percentage, or what is the criteria through which we have to achieve it. Now, when we talk about these clear measurable objectives, so your goal should be following the SMART criteria. Very, very important. From SMART, we do have questions. Goals should be SMART. You have to remember this acronym. What is the full form of SMART? Okay, very, very easy. S means your goals should be specific, right? M means your goals, they should be measurable. A means, so yes, definitely your goals should be achievable. They should be realistic goals. If I set a goal which is something which is not at all possible, that would be a stupidity. So my goals, whatever we are making for an organization, those goals should be achievable. They should be realistic. Why I'm telling you, because we do have a PYQ based on this. Then, yes, the goals, they should be relevant also. They should make some sense, right? And these goals should be time bound. So as I gave you an example, that if your manager tells you that by the month of March, or by the 28th March, okay, we have to achieve these goals, we have to do these many sales, we have to do these many nutrition workshops. So this means that there should be a time frame, okay, within which you have to achieve your goals. And I think this is something which all of us do in our personal life as well. In our personal life also, you are doing management on a daily basis. When you make your goal sheet, when you make your checklist, okay, you do keep goals. For example, your all of our goal is to crack UGC NET JRF exam, right? So you will be specific with that. You will also be measuring it in terms of your progress. So whatever test you do, you will be making sure that yes, that goal is achievable and it is relevant. Yes, definitely it makes sense, because you know what are the career opportunities, and you have a time frame within which you have to achieve it. So always remember this acronym SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay. So this is the official name. So we call it SMART only, and we do have a PYQ. So I'll be showing the PYQ just after the slide, right? So this thing, we know that there are two major principles of MBO. First thing, managers plus employees, they should set the goals together. And secondly, the goals should be SMART goals. The goals should follow the SMART criteria, right? Now again, see, you can take an example also. For example, in a hospital nutrition department, the goal is to improve the patient nutrition care. So now here the managers and the dietitians, they should work together, and they will decide that how many nutrition counseling we have to provide. Let's say we have to provide nutrition counseling to 100 patients per month. So just by reading this, you can guess that yes, the goal is very much specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, and there is a time bound period also, and they are relevant goals, right? Another goal, let's say, could be that reduce the malnutrition cases by 20%. Right. And even when you do, these public health studies, when you make a public health study, there also you have to be very much specific with your goals. And after a few months, what will happen? The performance will be reviewed. So, yes, another thing, remember, evaluation of the performance is again a key step. If you want to check that whether those goals have been achieved or not, right? Now we have another topic in this MBO, which is your steps in MBO. For this we have a separate PDF, but I'll be telling you this briefly as well. These are the four basic steps. Why? Because different websites, different books will give you different steps, but if you have to follow the basic steps, these four are the basic ones. But we will also be seeing a PDF in which this MBO, which is a part of your management topic, management unit, we'll be seeing what are the different steps in detail also, which have been given to us by the management books as well, right? And again, it's very, very simple. See, first step is to set the organizational goals. You can remember this by the name of the theory. Management by objectives means you have to set objectives, you have to set the goals. And then what will happen? So, first, you are setting the goals of the organization. Then the employees and managers will also set individual goals. Okay, for example, the goal for the manager is to let's say to ensure that this much percentage is the sales. Okay, or these many employees or these many teams he'll be supervising. Let's say the goal of each and every employee is also allotted to them, that you have to do this, you have to do that, etc. So, yes, in an organization, it's important to set the goal, the broader goal of the organization, as well as the individual goals as well, right? Then to monitor the progress, yes, supervision, monitoring is something very, very important. And after monitoring, usually what you have is evaluation. You will evaluate the performance. So this is the last step. So always remember, evaluating the performance is usually the last step. In few books, they also mention feedback, so that also will be seen. But the basic steps in MBO are these, that is setting the organization goals, then setting the individual goals of employees and managers, then monitoring the progress, and finally evaluating the performance. Are all of you clear with this? Is this thing clear in your head? Peter Drucker MBO theory?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then let's do one PYQ. Okay, wait. Yeah, 2023 PYQ. Let's look at this. A goal is not a smart goal if it is dash. What do you think?
Expensive.
Yes. What about others? Expensive? Shall we lock it? Is expensive the correct answer, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, so expensive is the correct choice. Now, one more thing. See, so there they have given you the word realistic. So realistic or relevant. Okay, you can change it, interchange it. You can use it interchangeably, right? So realistic or relevant is the same thing. Now, let's look at another question. Let's look at this question. Okay. Read this question. If a nutrition department sets the target, reduce child malnutrition by 10% in 6 months, and builds a plan, checks monthly progress, rewards success, which management approach you think is being used over here? Again, very, very simple. What do you think?
Management by objectives.
Yes, MBO, right? Because here we can clearly see that the goals have been set using the SMART strategy. There is again checking of the progress, and there is again evaluation also. Okay, let's look at this question. Contingency theory's main claim. What do you think contingency theory is all about?
Option B.
Option B.
Yeah, option B. Right? Management style must change according to the situational variables. Means again, according to the situation, the management style should be there. Now, let's look at this question. Okay. So, this is again a very common type of a question which we usually get, that which of the following is a correct statement about MBO? So, first read this and then tell. Again, easy one. I mean, all of you will be able to answer.
Option C.
Yes, option number C is the correct choice, right? So